When working on a game, you and your team are going to need a place to store your files where you can all access it. Well, a great free option is GitHub. It's a repo service or repository service where you can collaborate, add things. This is where we're going to actually store our Unreal game. So go at the top and create a username, email, and password. Make sure to let the rest of your team know to do this too. Then go ahead and click sign up. What I'm going to do is just click on sign in because I already have a repo. If you have one, just type in your username and password. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and type mine in and then click the sign in button. Now say we have a fresh project here that we're going to create. At the top here, go ahead and click new. And then I'm going to type in, I am the owner, so I have my name here. And then whatever the name of the game is. So let's say the game is called Ask Eric. And then I'm going to hit private. And I'm going to click on create repository. Now, with this open, you can see here that it gave us a GitHub repository name. We could use this later, or we could, this is something that we can send out. Now, there's a couple other things we want to take a look at. And once this is created, if I click on my name here, and you can see here that I have all the statistics behind my games. There's our Ask Eric game. Another thing I can do is I can just click this GitHub icon, and it takes me back to my initial splash screen. And you can see there's that Ask Eric game I created. Now let me click on that. Now, let's say that I want to add people to work on this project with me or sort of invite them. I can click on settings here. On the left-hand side, you could see manage access. This is who I can give, this is how I can give access to different people. So I'm gonna go ahead and click that too. Down at the bottom here, it says invite collaborator. You can just type anybody's GitHub username or email address. So for example, if I type in Frank, you'll see a bunch of people with Frank who are collaborators. I don't actually know any of these people, but it gives you access to the wider community. So be careful with who you invite to your project, and then just hit this select a collaborator from above button, and it'll send them an email. So what I'm going to do next is go to github.com or desktop.github.com. Now, GitHub uses a series of commands in order to access files, but it also has this really great desktop service called GitHub Desktop, which gives you this really awesome GUI interface that lets you check in and check out files without having to type in a single line of code. So let's go ahead and do download for Windows. I'm just going to select the desktop and I'm going to hit save. Now, once it's done downloading, go ahead and run it. And while that's opening, I'm going to click on Manage Access here. And under this Ada Margin Ask Eric, I'm going to go to Code. Let's wait till this loads up. There we go. So now it's fully installed. Now, it was looking for a previous project I had. I'm just going to hit Remove. Now, let's take a look. These are all the different repositories that are on my computer. But if this is your first time connecting or you're downloading projects that someone else created the repo, there's a couple things you can do. You can do clone a repository from the internet here, and it says you can click on URL here, and in this URL path, that's where you would copy this, and I'm going to hit Control V and paste it here, and then you choose a place on your computer in which you want to download the Ask Eric button, and then you can hit clone. Now, I have an Ada Margin Documents GitHub folder, so if I click choose, you can see I actually have a documents folder, and then inside of here I have a bunch of other junk that I have. And I'm going to actually go here to my computer documents folder. It looked like it wanted to store it to my OneDrive. And then I'm going to look for my, let's see, documents, GitHub. Let's see if we could find GitHub. It looks like it maybe stored it to my OneDrive documents. Let's see, documents here. Actually, once I hit clone, it's going to create this folder structure for me. Another way of doing this is I'm going to hit cancel here. And just while having the desktop app open, if I click back inside of here and I click setup in desktop, it's going to prompt me if I want to open up the GitHub desktop app that we installed. That's this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. And then you'll see I get the same pop-up. It goes to the URL and it types all the other stuff in there, and I'm going to hit clone. There we go. So now we have a project called Ask Eric, and it's cloned. Well, let's take a look at creating our firing up Unreal and saving inside of our Unreal project here. So let's see, our repo. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and just start Unreal. Once Unreal fires up, I'm going to hit Launch Unreal. Now, I want to create a VR game. So I'm going to go ahead and click Games, hit Next. I'm going to select Virtual Reality, hit Next. And you can see down here it says See Users ADMR Documents Unreal Projects. I actually want to navigate to Documents, GitHub. Notice it created that folder for me. Here's my Ask Eric project, and I'm going to select that folder. I'm going to go ahead and name this project Ask Eric. Let's get rid of that other stuff. VR. Say I'm trying to make an experience that's something else. I'm fine with these default settings. I don't want to download the starter content yet. I could always import that in later. Now I'm going to hit Create Project. I want to specify something here. Watch as it's creating the project. It starts to add files inside of this desktop for me. You might get a couple things when you're seeing this. Notice that mine froze at 39%. Now, whenever I'm creating a VR project for the first time, sometimes it can take me up to 20 minutes to get past this. So it can go to 39 or 45%. So if you have any other errors, like it continues to freeze, send me an email and I can cover how to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. And then in the next project, I'm going to show you how to check in and out files inside of GitHub Desktop.